afternoon, y'all. We're going to continue our look at who Jesus is. I explained in an earlier video that we're going to take the next several weeks and look through the book of Mark and see who Jesus is and what does Jesus do, what is Jesus like, what does he teach us. And so today we're going to look at Mark chapter 1, verses 12 and 13. And it says, "Immediately the Spirit drove him," that is Jesus, "into the wilderness. He was in the wilderness 40 days, being tempted by Satan. He was with the wild animals, and the angels were serving him." And so now what does this tell us about who Jesus is and what he experiences? Well, number one, we see in these verses that Jesus was in the wilderness. The Spirit led him into the wilderness. And so this is exactly how it sounds, right? It is the wilderness. Not a very fun place to be. Not a very hospitable place to be. Not an easy place to find your way or find the things that you need. But this is where Jesus was. And so in your life, you may feel like you are in the wilderness, right? You're having trouble finding your way, finding the things you need. You are just in a tough spot. Well, Jesus knows that experience, right? He knows what the wilderness experience is like. And so you are not alone in that. But then also we see that Jesus is there in the wilderness being tempted by Satan. Now we see a fuller treatment of this in Matthew and Luke, but we know from all the Gospels that Jesus was tempted by Satan, and he was tempted in various ways. He was tempted to provide food for himself while he fasted in the wilderness. He was tempted to worship the devil, to bow down and honor him in exchange for power. He was tempted to test God and try to force God to rescue him out of certain temptations. And so Jesus knows the pressure of temptation, right? He knows that experience. Now, in his case, he resisted perfectly to the end. So you and I can know that, one, Jesus knows that experience of temptation, but also, two, he resisted, and we can rely on his strength. And so know that you are not alone in temptation and suffering, right? That is who Jesus is. He experiences that with us. He suffers alongside of us, and we can rely on him for help. And so Mark's gospel in chapter 1 tells us a lot about who Jesus is, and I'm looking forward to sharing more about that this Sunday, about how Jesus brings us good news and what exactly that good news is. And so I hope that you'll join us for worship, or you'll check out our worship video. And I appreciate you watching this one. And until next time, hope you have a blessed day.